all the 5 states combined together will be completed in 7 phases. The first date of the issue of notification will be 14th January 2022, and which will start from Uttar Pradesh. This will be the first phase of Uttar Pradesh. The issue of notification is 14 January. Last date of nominations 21st January. Scrutiny of nominations 24th January. Last date of withdrawal of candidature 27th January. And date of poll 10th February 2022. This is the first phase. Now let us come to the second phase, which is a very important phase. In second phase, we will be covering 4 states. Uttar Pradesh second phase, Punjab in one phase, Uttarakhand in one phase, Goa in one phase. So Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, Uttarakhand and Goa. In second phase, Punjab, Uttarakhand, Goa will be over. And here the issue of notification will be 21st January. Last date of nominations 28th January. Scrutiny of nominations 29th January. And last date of withdrawal of candidature 31st January. And date of poll 14th February, that is Monday. Manipur will be done in 2 phases. So on 5th phase, we will be having Uttar Pradesh 5th phase and Manipur 1st phase. Here the issue of notification is 1st February. Last date of notification, last nomination 8th February. Scrutiny of nominations 9th February. Last date of withdrawal of candidature 11th February. And date of poll will be 27th February 2022. Uttar Pradesh 6th phase and Manipur 2nd phase. Here the issue of notification will be 4th February 2022. Last date of nominations 11th February 2022. Scrutiny of nominations 14th February 2022. Last date of withdrawal of candidature 16th February and date of poll 3rd March, that is Thursday. That way Manipur also completed the 6th phase. Uttar Pradesh 7th phase. Issue of notifications 10th February. Last date of nominations 17th February. Scrutiny of nominations 18th February. Last date of withdrawal of candidature is 21st February and date of poll is 7th March. So on 7th March, all polling will be over and the date of counting is 10th March 2022. As a part of our firm commitment towards greater constructive participation of women in the electoral process, Commission has mandated that at least one polling station managed exclusively by women shall be set up in every assembly constituency. Our officers have identified even much more than that. There are 690 assembly constituency, but we are setting up a total of 1,620 such polling stations that will be totally manned by women staff and the women security personnel as well. This will definitely empower the women, will set an example for others. The women can come freely to cast their votes without any hesitation and without any problem. Similarly, some polling stations will be exclusively managed by persons with disabilities. That will also give a sense of confidence to the persons and an inspiration to others. We have made special arrangements for PWDs. Commission is truly committed to ensuring a comfortable polling environment to persons with disabilities. They shall be given priority for entering polling booths, provision made for designated parking spaces close to the entrance of polling stations. Volunteers shall be available to facilitate PWDs. Wheelchairs will be arranged. All polling stations will be having a gentle ramps so that there should be no problem to our persons with the disabilities. We have made arrangement for the postal ballot facility for absentee voters. And 3 types of absentee voters have been identified. That is the senior citizens with the age above 80 plus, the PWDs with the benchmark disability, and those who are COVID affected. A polling team consisting of 2 polling officials along with a videographer and security will then go to electors' house along with the voting compartment and get the electors to vote on the postal ballot. We have also given a facility of online nomination to the candidates. This is an optional facility and we would like the candidates should use this facility so that the physical contact can be reduced and online facility can be fully utilized by the candidates who are coming for contesting the poll. And friends, another important issue is the candidates with the criminal cases. Each and every voter has a right to know the background of the candidate. Among other measures to ensure ethical elections, emphasis is also given on mandatory publicity of criminal antecedents. Candidates with criminal antecedents are required to publish information in this regard in newspaper and through television channels on 3 occasions during the campaign period. Besides this, it is also mandatory for political parties to upload on their website at the home page detailed information regarding individuals with pending criminal cases who have been selected as candidates. Along with the reasons, the political party will have to give the reasons as to why this particular candidate has been selected and no candidate without any criminal incident was selected, and benevolity is not the criteria for the same. And the details will be published within 48 hours of the selection of the candidate and not prior to 2 weeks before the first date of filing of nomination as was done earlier. The details of such candidates will also be available on Know Your Candidate, that is an app developed by the ECI. Now I come to COVID protocols and COVID safe elections, I think for which many persons are waiting and a lot of queries are coming even before announcement of the polls. I will start that there were a lot of queries on this issue, that what will happen, what is going to happen. But I would like to start with a very, couplet. यकीन हो तो कोई रास्ता निकलता है, हवा की ओट भी लेकर चिराग जलता है. So therefore, यकीन होना चाहिए. We should have a yaqeen, we should have a faith, we should have a absolutely belief that we can pass through this particular pandemic also through our safety measures, through our proper following of the COVID appropriate behavior. Only then we can sail through effectively, safely into this election process, as has been done in earlier past elections also. The decision to go ahead with scheduled elections was taken after much deliberation, discussions, and careful analysis of the ever dynamic situation. The situation is very dynamic. It is not static. Nobody can predict. Nobody could have predicted earlier also, a month before. So the situation is very, very dynamic. Let me go back to the Constitution of India on this issue. Article 172(1) states clearly that every legislative assembly of every state, unless sooner dissolved, shall continue for 5 years, dash dash and no longer. So the period of any constituency is only up to 5 years and no longer. Any postponement of the assembly may result in a situation which denies people of that state the right to elect an accountable government of their choice. The government will have to be of their choice. It is a democratic process.